I need weapons, an ID, and a disguise. Holy shit, is that C4?
That's not for sale.
I always love asking an actor for their aha moment when playing a new character, but in particular when you're taking on a role that was done very memorably once before and also an iconic character from the source material as well. So do you remember the very first thing you did, either in prep or on set, that made you stop and go, I have just found who my Ben Richards is?
Well, I mean, Edgar, early on, I tend to be a pretty patient guy. I don't tend to lose my cool, but Ben Richards is very much a hothead. He's a guy that, is a guy who's pushed down, by an oppressive system. His family's in danger. And unless he fights against those forces, he's going to, he may lose his family. So he has to fight back, and he is a fighter. And I think what's really fun about my aha moment for Ben was just kind of listening to the world and trying to be a little pissed off by everything. I think that was kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like,
you look like you're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like I see you like sizzle, like you're vibrating in this role.
Yeah, you're just sitting there, just like everything kind of tweaks you, in a fun way. I remember one of the first scenes we shot was where I'm at the window and I see like the triangle and I'm with this guy and I just kept looking at this glass, just being like, I can't let it go. And I think that was the fun part, is people saw me like I would kind of pace around a lot. I'd move around a lot on set. I was like kind of just trying to keep that Ben Richards energy. It was like a high frequency.
That energy is a lot. I wrote this particular quote down from one of the writers, Michael. He said that you maintained an unbelievable level of intensity over several months, because this is a pretty significant shoot. So I guess my question about that is, what is the key to maintaining that kind of energy and intensity for so long? And how do you practice self-care while you're doing it, so when you come out of it, you're okay?
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I didn't really expect when you're shooting an action movie is like how immersive it's going to be in terms of like the brutality and the intensity, the physicality. I mean, you can't get away from the hits and the bruises and the explosions. I mean, it's like it's all happening. You know what I mean? Like when you're running and things are exploding. I mean, it's happening, right? And you're gonna take some glass in the face. You're gonna take a rogue punch. It's just gonna happen. And so. I think the thing for me is just kind of embracing the chaos a bit, and ramping myself up for those scenes was just kind of a joy. I mean, I like unleashing a bit. Like sometimes like different characters I play, you have to ride the brake. It's a little more sure-footed and nuanced, but like Ben's a bull in a china shop, he's a bruiser. He's ready to cause some chaos, Chaos is coming at him and he's causing chaos for other people. So it's a fun gear to play with.
Bring up the intensity, the maybe bruising nature of some of this. And one of the scenes that just came flashing back to my mind is the trunk scene. What's the movie magic behind doing something like that?
Well, I mean, that's like, that's sort of all done in like a real like continuous shot. That was obviously designed by
impressive
Edgar. I mean, that was one of the coldest nights in Glasgow, and we're literally, he found this like stretch of street in which you're going down these like pretty intense cobblestone streets. So you're just getting jarred around. You're taking these sharp corners, so you're getting thrown to either end. And I end up popping out of a trunk and having a gunfight, and that's all done. That was one of the coldest nights in Glasgow, and obviously very highly designed. So. You have to do it quite a few times. So I was in that trunk for a while.
One of many very, very impressive visuals in this film. I do have to ask you, just because, I see what you do in this movie. I know Ben Richards is a very different kind of hero, where he is not meant to be a superhero. He is an average guy fighting back against this system. But you have to notice the significant amount of fan enthusiasm out there for you taking on a superhero role. Mm-hmm. Does that interest you whatsoever, or do you prefer a hero that is more along the lines of, the movie is heightened, but a grounded Ben Richards?
Well, I mean, look, the thing about superhero stories that I've always loved is, it's like the idea of like, the early days of something, building something. It's like I don't feel as a person like a superhero. I like once someone becomes super, I sort of kind of tend to no longer feel I don't know, maybe an emotional, the same emotional connection, you know. And it's even like Michael Waldron and I created, you know, Chad Powers, and we always conceptualize that as a superhero story. You know, there's a very much a Batman Bruce Wayne thing, you know, going on there. There's the super version of you, and then there's sort of the version that you can kind of hide from the world. So I love the duality of superhero stories. I love the idea of secret identities. I love all that, but I can't say that there's one, you know, superhero in particular I'm chasing.
I just want you to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
What.
I mean, look, the thing about Running Man that really I love, I think more than anything, it's an ordinary guy against extraordinary odds, you know, and like, I think those underdog stories are the movies that got me into this business. You know, it's like, I love, you know, what Marvel's doing. I love what DC is doing. I think what they're doing is great, but the stories that at least get me inspired, the stories that I've always wanted to be a part of, are these movies that you saw in the 80s and, you know, early, you know, 90s, early 2000s, where it's like, these are truly like man against the system movies, these David and Goliath stories where it's like, no one's super, you know, and for me, it's a different feeling of leaving the theater and being like, oh, that could be me. You know, if you just summon enough strength, if you just summon enough energy, like that could be me. And so like, I think that's the difference, is like, I just don't feel that superhero stories really apply to me the same way that an underdog story
I
does.
understand that. As much as I love those franchises, there's nothing that, like, also with a movie like this, it helps me process real world challenges in a heightened manner, but through a grounded character that maybe I can relate to more than someone with superhuman
That's
abilities.
exactly right.
I appreciate that. I have to start winding down with you. There's one other show actually, I have to touch on because, one, I love your work. I'll follow you anywhere. Love JT Molnar. I'm the biggest fan of his.
Strange Darling, what a masterclass.
Big horror nerd, and I also think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the very best of the OG classic horror movies. So my question about that one for you is, given the fact that that movie holds up so well, what space do the two of you see in it that suggests there's more to explore via a TV series?
Well, I'm just producing it with Barnstorm. I'm not starring in it, but I will say JT is one of the great filmmakers. I feel, you know, Dan Cohen, you know, my producing partner, and I, you know, identified JT earlier as one of the great voices, and I think he's going to be a part of our cinematic lives for a real long time. And the fact that he's such a fan of Texas Chainsaw, I grew up on Texas Chainsaw. I'm not going to give away any spoilers about what we're sort of building and what we're planning, but the team around it is extraordinary, and we're gonna do it justice. I promise.
I got the rap sign, but again, just like you, I trust in JT. Whatever he wants to get involved in, visionary. I am there for it. Huge congratulations on Running Man. Oh man.
Yeah.